Hello and welcome to the Real Women, Real Purpose talk show live in the On Purpose Woman magazine and global community Facebook page. I'm Ginny Robertson, the host of the Real Women, Real Purpose talk show, where I talk with real women who are living their lives on purpose and bringing their unique gifts to the planet. I'm also the founder and publisher of On Purpose Woman magazine and the founder of the On Purpose Woman global community. My guest today is inner joy coach Lori Pieper, and we're talking about how stress makes you stupid. So be smart and laugh. Welcome, Lori. Thanks for being here.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for inviting me. I'm excited to be here.
I told you before we got on that when I read your title, Stress Makes You Stupid, I thought that's the one. I think that is just so funny. And we're going to talk about how stress can make you not just stupid, but sick, right?
Exactly. Yes.
But before we get there, I want to tell our viewers a little bit about you. Lori Pieper is an author, inner joy coach, and the founder of Journey to Inner Joy. She's a Reiki master and is Chopra certified in total well-being coaching, PSM meditation instruction, and perfect health, Ayurvedic lifestyle instruction. Using a unique blend of these healing wisdoms, Lori guides women who feel stuck, overwhelmed, and exhausted to a life of empowerment to be true to themselves and live their life with clarity, passion, and joy. And you can find out more about Lori at journeytoinnerjoy.com, and that is also in the text of this video. And Lori, I have to say, you are the first inner joy coach to enter my life.
And I love the title I made up.
Is it? Well, I love the sound of it. So what brought you to this work?
Well, first of all, I love the fact that you have the word joy on your shelves behind you.
It's always there. I didn't even remember it was there.
I just happened to notice it. But so I was in corporate America for years, close to 40 years. And for the most part, it was very fulfilling and I enjoyed it. And then towards the end, it just started getting really stressful. So probably about 15 years ago, the stress was getting to me. And so I started learning yoga, meditation. I went to a lot of Deepak Chopra seminars, and that's where I learned primordial sound meditation. And it literally changed my life because I was at the point in my job where I felt like I was working all the time. I was so exhausted at the end of the week because I was traveling as well. So I was so exhausted. I wasn't going out with my friends anymore. And it wasn't because I don't like them. It was just, I was so exhausted. And I just had this feeling like, oh, just can't wait to retirement, which is terrible, when I was only, maybe 45 years old.
Yeah, that's a long way to go, isn't it?
Yeah. So the meditation, the yoga, the Reiki, it all helped me to just be in my body and to take things for what they are and not get overly stressed about them. Mm-hmm. And more importantly, to speak up and not be afraid to tell, a client very kindly that this is not what we're doing, or my boss or a coworker, and then making choices that really benefited me. And as I'm getting better in my spirituality, my health, I'm a better worker, right? I'm better for the company. I'm better for family. So, yeah.
And so you left your job eventually.
Yes, I left my job. I actually got laid off and then they hired me back to do the same job, paying me more, which was nice. But I guess the benefit was I had more time to spend exploring what I love, which is stress, how stress impacts you physically, mentally, and spiritually, and why, and ways to manage that stress. And the more I did that, the more I just got tired of what I was doing in corporate America. So I started Journey to Inner Joy.
And I'm thinking that when you were laid off, you also saw what a day without stress could look like.
Yes. It was actually, I was actually a little disappointed because I was planning on taking the spring off. I got laid off in March. I'm like, I'm going to take the spring off. This is going to be great. I'll clean my house, wash my windows, and all this fun stuff. And they wanted me to start immediately as a contractor. So, yeah, but it was still, yes, I had a lot more time to just relax and chill. And yeah.
Well, I'm glad that happened for you, because otherwise you wouldn't have come into my life and we wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
That is true.
And Lori, I know you're passionate about educating people about the true side effects of stress. And I'd like you to share what you think are maybe the two that are the most harmful, if you will.
I would love to. So as you mentioned, the title is Stress Makes You Stupid. And we don't realize this, but when you are fearful, angry, worried, you are in some level of the fight or flight response. And when you're in the fight or flight response, the blood, one of the things that happens is blood goes away from your rational, compassionate brain and goes into your reactionary you versus me brain. So, and if you think about it, when you're in a work situation where people are angry with each other, or, you know, they're having discussions and one person doesn't like it, and the stress starts to build. And when it builds, that's when you stop being rational.
Okay. That's when the stupid kicks in.
That's when the stupid kicks in. So think about it, you know, the last time that maybe you were in a hurry to get out the door and you couldn't find your keys. And when you find them, you realize they were right there. How did I miss them?
Okay.
That was your stupid brain, because you were stressed.
Wow. It explains a lot, because when we're in stupid brain, we also say things we probably wouldn't say if we were in our rational brain, right?
Exactly. And you know, the funny thing is people will accuse you of saying, they'll say things like, well, if you didn't mean that, you wouldn't have said that. But that's not true either, because you could have heard that, you could have seen it on in a movie somewhere, you could have seen somebody else do it, and your brain just associated that situation with this other situation, and what, before you know it, you're blurting it out, and you didn't mean it. So yeah.
So we could start to explain some bad behavior by saying my stupid brain made me do it, maybe.
Absolutely.
Maybe if we all understood that, we would be a little more maybe compassionate with ourselves and with other people, and not take everything so personally. That might be a good first step to start learning more about that, because I've never heard it put that way before, what you just said.
Yeah.
So that's a really big deal. I mean, that's running everything, because the stupid brain is actually in charge at that point, correct?
Right, absolutely.
Okay.
And if you're making decisions, you know, if you're making any kind of decision, especially if you're an entrepreneur or making key family decisions, you don't want to make those decisions when you're stressed out. Just take a couple deep breaths and just try to get out of that stress mode and get back into rest and restore, where the blood is going back into your compassionate, rational brain.
I do want to tell our viewers that in a few minutes, you're going to share some ways that we can get back that we can transition, I guess, from our stupid brain to our rational, compassionate brain. But I'd love to hear more of the side effects, important side effects of stress.
Yes, it also makes you sick. And just like the blood goes away from the rational part of your brain into the reactionary part of your brain, because remember, your body is, when you're in fight or flight mode, your body is keeping you safe. It believes you are in danger for your life, and it will do anything to keep you safe. In order to either fight or flee from danger, the blood flow goes away from your digestive system and your immune system to fuel your muscles.
Start running.
So you can run or fight like crazy. So it's going away from your digestive system. If your digestive system isn't working, then you're not getting the nutrients. If your immune system, if blood's going away from your immune system isn't working. So people might notice that they get every bug out there when they're stressed.
Mm.
And when you're not stressed, your body can restore, and also it's much healthier.
And probably a reason why a lot of people who live in stress are always popping antacid pills and or get prescription medications for their stomach issues, right? Sounds like
Yes,
what you're saying is we're actually doing damage to our whole system.
absolutely. And some autoimmune diseases have been linked to chronic stress.
Okay.
Because your immune system is out of whack and now it's overcompensating.
Wow. And you know what's I think is very cool about this information is that we can actually change it. We're in charge of this. It's not like we've been given a diagnosis of something. We got to go, oh, I guess I got to take pills for the rest of my life, right?
Right.
You're going to teach our viewers a few techniques that they can use throughout the day to manage their stress and improve their overall health and well-being. So what's the one you want to start with?
Breathing, how to breathe.
Isn't it kind of funny to think that we have to tell people how to breathe, or we have to remember to breathe? I have to remember to breathe.
Yes.
You know?
When we are stressed, you don't realize it, but you start breathing shallow breaths from your upper chest.
Mm-hmm.
And what that's doing is that is keeping you in that fight flight mode. So your when you're breathing in your upper chest, your diaphragm is pulling up, and that is triggering the vagus nerve, which is going from the brain to your major organs, saying, I'm in fear for my life, I'm in fear for my life. So when you inhale, when you breathe, like you said, first of all, you have to remember to breathe, because we do, without realizing it, hold our breath.
Mm-hmm.
So when you want to consciously get out of fight or flight and get into rest and restore, when you inhale, expand the belly. And that brings the diaphragm down, and that is telling the vagus nerve and the brain and all of your major organs, I'm safe. It's okay. We don't have to be stressed anymore. So breathing from the belly, and we're so used to breathing into our chest that when I first
breathing,
yes, I had to really force myself to do that. And now it's more natural. But think of a baby. You know, when you see a baby sleeping and their little belly is just, that's how we should be breathing.
Or a cat.
Or a cat, right? Exactly.
I read something a number of years ago that said that a lot of women don't breathe that way because they don't want their bellies to stick out.
Yes.
And it's like, isn't that insane that we've been conditioned so much to think that there's something wrong with that?
Yes, yes. The Buddha has a big belly, right?
That's why I needed it, right? I needed it for all that air to come in and out of. Well, you know, as you were talking, I was sitting here, did about 3 deep breaths, but I noticed, and belly breaths, I noticed that the very first one, I just went, it only took one for me to shift. And I was not stressed when we got on, but, you know, I had a couple of technical issues. So I think I might have just gotten a little something going on, because all of a sudden I could tell a difference immediately with just one breath.
Yes.
So viewers, use this. It works, and it's free.
Yes, exactly.
And we always have access to it. So it's such a simple thing. But again, something that we do have to be trained to remember to do.
And, you know, to make you feel even better, add to that a strong exhale, like you know, really letting it out. That's the second part of a good breathing for calm. Yeah.
Demonstrate that for us again. Do the whole thing.
So yeah, everybody do it with us.
Yeah.
So inhale, expand your belly, and exhale.
Okay.
And keep exhaling. Get that stale air out of your lungs. So yeah, and it's okay that your chest, because you can't see my belly, but you know, my belly expanded and then my chest expanded. So that's getting a full lung full of air. But let your belly expand first.
Yeah. You just reminded me of something years ago when I was pregnant with my son, who's now going to be 43. I remember I was still at work. I was in the early stages, but starting to have some effects, and I had gone up about 6 flights of stairs just because I like to take the stairs at work when I didn't have to. And I walk into this office. I don't remember whose it was, and I'm like, and I said, I don't know what's going on. I'm so out of breath. I've never been out of breath before like this. And the person there, and I don't remember who it was, he said to me, you're probably said that I needed to start to breathe differently being pregnant, that I needed to make sure that I was taking deep breaths. And he said something to the effect of, you're not getting enough oxygen. And I was also lightheaded. I forgot to add that, because you're not getting enough oxygen to your brain. You're not taking deep enough breaths. There's something, and no doctor had ever told me that. And this was 1980. I don't know how this guy knew that, but it was that. Now I've noticed that then if I ever get lightheaded, that's the first thing I do is go, I think I just need to breathe more deeply rather than go lay down and think there's something wrong, right?
Exactly. It's similar to hyperventilating.
That's why they have us breathe into a bag or something. I've never done that, but I hear that's what they do.
Yeah.
I've seen it in movies.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have anything else for us along those lines? Like another technique?
I'm sorry.
You have another technique for us?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So going along with that breath. So if you close your eyes and as you're inhaling, imagine, just follow the breath going in through your nostrils, down through your heart center and into your lower abdomen. And then on an exhale, expand that air into your body and envision a light. So inhaling with the inhale, imagine a light going in through the nostrils, down through the heart center, into your lower abdomen, and then expand that healing light. Imagine a healing light, expand it throughout your body. And you can do this without closing your eyes. I do this when I'm in rush hour traffic, because you can visualize and still be aware of your surroundings. As a matter of fact, you're probably more aware because you're getting out of that stress brain and into just being a little more calm and your rational brain. So yeah, that's if I yeah, I was just going to say, I do that before I go to bed at night. So I will lay in bed and I will do that breathing. I will imagine the light. The two things that the light does for you is first of all, it helps you focus, but it also, as you're going through your heart center, it activates your heart chakra. As you imagine the light going into your lower abdomen, that's giving you some stability. So you're helping your stability and helping that heart center to come more forward in your life.
Wow, just for some simple breaths.
Yes.
I also notice I'm yawning. And are there some benefits of yawning?
Absolutely. People think that yawning means you're tired or you're bored, which it can mean you're tired. But but a lot of times it's just stress. And if we start paying attention to when we're yawning and when we're stressed, it really helps a lot. But there are times I know I'm not tired, but I cannot stop yawning. And then I realize, oh, I'm really stressed out. And so taking a few deep breaths can really help as well with that.
Thank you. These are all great tips. And is there another one that you just think we really need to know before we wrap up here today?
Laugh.
Yeah, that's in our subtitle of this chat today. So yes.
Yes.
Talk more about that.
Yes. It's amazing how much, if you think about the last time you had a really good belly laugh, it's probably been a while. I know it has been for me. And then compare that to how often you are fearful, worried, angry in your life. So laughter really is so healing. First of all, when you're laughing, getting that belly laugh, you're getting that oxygen, right? So you're oxygenating your blood, but it's fun. It feels good. And you can force yourself to laugh. I don't know if anybody out there's ever taken laughter yoga, but
Yeah,
oh my gosh, that is so fun. And
it is fun.
just start laughing, force it, tell yourself a joke if you need to. And after about 30 seconds, you'll have a hard time stopping.
And it's so anytime that I've been in a room with people, sometimes it's not on purpose. You know, somebody just says something and somebody starts laughing and then we're all laughing. We don't even know why we're laughing, but we can't stop. That is like one of the best times, isn't it?
Yes,
As you said in your
absolutely.
description of this, you know, we need to laugh our ass off, right? Yes, we can say that on the talk show, right? Yeah. So remember to breathe and to laugh and to yawn. Three
Yes.
really simple things that we can do anytime, anywhere. Well, I mean, we can't maybe kind of laugh like at a funeral or something, but
Right.
maybe if they're telling a good story, but you know, I mean, within reason, but the breathing we can always tap into the breathing. I love
Yeah.
these, Lori. Thank you so much.
Yes. Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure.
And how can
Yeah.
our viewers learn more about what you offer?
Well, you can obviously go to my website, journeytoinnerjoy.com. And on there, you can request a free 30-minute chat with me.
Oh, nice.
No sales. You can just learn more about how to keep yourself happy and healthy because it is your birthright.
Yeah.
Also on my website, you can grab my 5 easiest stress busters document. So I've touched on a couple of those. So there are more. So yeah, probably a couple more there. So check that out. I'm on Facebook. You can just look for Lori Pieper on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Instagram. So lots of different ways to, and just if you want to email me, Lori, Lori at journeytoinnerjoy.com.
Okay. And Lori's website is journeytoinnerjoy.com. It is in the text of this video. Go there and take advantage of this wonderful offers. Did you say 35-minute or 30? For the free consultation, like whatever.
30 minutes.
For a minute that you said 35, and I thought that's an odd amount of time, but it's 30 minutes.
30
And
minutes,
also
yeah.
get her list of 5 great stress busters. A couple of them she's touched on today. You can get more. So Lori, do you want to leave us with a final thought?
Be joyful. You know, your thoughts, we are so conditioned to live in a, I don't want to say a box, but yeah, a box. A client of mine was saying how she wanted to hug a tree. I'm like, why don't you? Well, what will people think? Hug a tree if you want to hug a tree. It's not hurting anybody. And just giving yourself permission to do some of those things that you're passionate about can make a huge difference in your world.
Oh, I so agree with that. And monitoring ourselves so that people will think okay of us is probably one of the greatest joy stealers out there, isn't it?
Yes.
And the biggest stress inducer, because it all ties together, really.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, well, thank you so much. I almost called you Joy for a minute. Thank you, Joy.
I've had people do that before.
Wow. And I want to thank anybody who's watching this either live in the On Purpose Woman Global Community Facebook group or on our YouTube channel. If you'd like to find out what's coming up in the Real Women, Real Purpose talk show, you can go to my website, which is also in the text of this video, opwgc.com. Click on the On Purpose Woman magazine and then go look up in the table of contents the On Real Women, Real Purpose talk show, and that will tell you what's coming up. I do have another interview this Friday, and I'll be talking with Mary Jane Charles. Mary Jane is the Last Wishes facilitator and the author of Surviving the Business of Dying and Why Final Papers Matter. Mary Jane's a wealth of information about why we want to have certain things handled before our loved ones need them. And it's actually a pretty uplifting thing to talk about. It's not morbid like some people think. And so we're going to talk about the complete toolkit that she offers to help people do that. I want to thank you again for watching the Real Women, Real Purpose talk show.
Thank you. Thank you, Ginny.
You're welcome. Thanks, Lori.